Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of another Dime in the Jukebox. Today, my guest is Jessica Klausing, who is a music blogger specializing in rock and roll. And Jess, thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, no problem. So, when you went to college, what was your major?
So I majored in mass communications with a minor in film studies.
Hmm. I see. Cool. Okay, and how did you come about creating on the Flipside music?
So it's so funny. It started as a class project. I was taking a class on blogging actually, and we had to create a blog and kind of keep up with whatever topic we wanted to write about.
Hmm.
And I've always loved music. I come from a family of musicians. My mom exposed me to so much amazing songs growing up as a child. I just have always had this passion for music.
Hmm.
So I created a music blog where I would just kind of do concert reviews. I would interview local musicians. I'd write album reviews, and I just enjoyed it. I just got so much joy out of it. And, towards the end of the semester, I realized, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
I see. Nice, nice. So you said that your parents were musicians. What kinds of musicians? Like, did they play an instrument? Did they sing? Like, what did they do exactly?
My grandfather was in a gospel country band.
Oh,
He
nice.
he played banjo. He was a singer.
Hmm.
My uncle was also in that band as well. He was a guitarist, and he was an amazing singer.
Hmm. Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, it's really cool how your passion from all of this kind of like came from your parents. That's
Hmm.
it's awesome. So in addition to running on the flip side music, do you have a day job?
Oh, absolutely. During the day, I do music licensing for television stations. On the flip side, is kind of like my side job,
I
but
see.
I still treat it as much as a day job. I
Well,
take it
yeah.
very seriously.
Absolutely, yeah. And do you get paid for creating your blog, or do you do all of the work kind of like completely for free?
So I don't really get paid much for it. It's definitely a passion project, which
Mhm.
that's okay.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, I care so much about helping artists and sharing, their amazing work, talking
Hmm.
about music with others. So for me, it's that is worth so much to me.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I totally get that. I mean, another Dime in the Jukebox is definitely a passion project for me. And but every single time I'm working on it, every single time I'm interviewing someone, or when I'm writing a music show review, or even when I'm creating my posts on my Instagram page where I post facts, doing that is always so fulfilling that I honestly don't even care that I'm not getting paid for it right now, but I do hope to get paid for it in the future. So that's exactly why I'm doing everything that I'm doing with my blog right now. It's like an investment. Yeah, it's always like really good to have the experience of
Oh yeah, it's so much fun too.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So overall, what is the music journalist's day-to-day work life is like? Like, what duties do you have to fulfill?
Oh goodness. So there's so much. So usually I have to research the topic I'm writing about. If I'm interviewing a particular musician, I have to kind of do the research, prepare my questions ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I kind of have a basic outline of the questions I usually ask, or a basic outline of what I'm going to write.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of start from there, and I'll form kind of like a rough draft or a rough edit. And then I kind of just go through like many, many revisions later. I always tell everybody I'm my own worst critic. I'm a perfectionist with anything that I post and create online. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot harder on myself than I probably should be,
Mm-hmm.
but I just want to, create the best product because, for me, I want to make the artist proud. That's really my number one objective. I want to do them right and help them get as
Mm-hmm.
much promotion as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you always want to make sure that like you do solid research before you do an interview, so
Hmm.
that you ask the right questions.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
you always have to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so what kind of material does On the Flip Side Music provide? Is there a general theme to your posts?
Not really. It kind of started when I first launched the blog. It was just basic, like, not popular stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
B-side type music,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't get a lot of publicity, that not a lot of people maybe listen to or are aware of. So I was mostly kind of going that route. I started working with a lot of indie artists, still do.
Hmm.
I still do. But, as time kind of evolved, I've kind of started, kind of covering like some of the bigger scaled artists and uh, venturing out into like exploring other musical genres to share. And
Hmm.
that's kind of broadened my perspective as a blogger. So I'd like to say that I try to be very well rounded with all musical genres across the board.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I personally choose to focus another Dime in the Jukebox on rock and roll mainly. But I mean, I am kind of sort of like starting to branch out a little bit. Although I know that you and I talked about this before,
Mhm.
and you asked me whether I would be willing to interview someone who's not like a rock and roll artist per se, and I said yes. So actually, I take back what I said about mainly just focusing on rock music. I would definitely love to, branch out a little bit, but rock and roll is like it's my main passion. Do you have any favorite artists, both among the local and like any of the most famous musicians?
Oh gosh. So anybody who knows me personally well, I love the band Kiss. I am a proud member of the Kiss Army. As far as local indie artists go, I am really obsessed with Peyton Suber and Desmond Parson,
Hmm.
both very talented neo soul artists that I recently did song reviews for them on
Oh,
my blog, and
nice.
Peyton is actually about to release his full on album next month, and he just let me get a sneak peek of it, and I'm just blown away. So I've started listening to more like neo soul type music
Hmm.
just because
Nice.
I'm just so blown away by how much talent there is out
Hmm.
there.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check them out. And
Yeah.
yeah, I do check out your blog from time to time.
Oh,
And
thank
yeah,
you.
oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mean, I personally feel that like from for me as a fellow blogger, it's good to check out what other people are doing because not just like for inspiration, but because it's
Hmm.
like that's exactly how you learn about what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
absolutely. And I've actually discovered great music just from looking at other blogs, other
Hmm.
music bloggers
Oh yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
it's a nice little community we
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. Yeah. And I was just like saying the same thing to the creator of the Hot Child in the City blog.
Hmm.
And speaking of which, you should definitely check that out because she posts awesome stuff on her
Oh, I
page.
definitely will.
Yeah, yeah, like she she definitely does like show reviews, song reviews, interviews with artists, but she also does some movie reviews and well her blog is really really good. So
Wow, that is
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, I'll send you the link afterwards. You
Sure,
should absolutely
absolutely.
do this. Okay, so hmm. So I checked out your website, obviously, and I noticed that you write mostly like live music show reviews, album reviews, interviews with artists, like we said before. And my question is, do you mainly work with current musicians, or would you do you write about like the 20th century artists as well? I mean, like obviously, I mean you can still interview some of them, like those who are around, but I mean because I love to do research about mainly about rock and roll artists from the 20th century, and I've posted a lot about that. And I'm kind of just now starting to venture into discovering more local um, artists. But would you ever want to like do anything um, about artists from the previous century?
I've actually never thought about that, but that's a really good idea. I
Mhm.
mean, music is music. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter like, what genre or not, just whatever you like.
Hmm.
It should be celebrated and enjoyed. But I mostly work with a lot of local artists. That's pretty much mostly who I work with. I like to, I have a soft spot in my heart for the underdog. I always want to,
Well, yeah, I
yeah,
get that. Besides, I
yeah.
mean, you and I hopefully will be the ones who will get their names out there. I mean, that's
Hmm.
how people find out about.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm. So, okay. And next question: how do you choose what topics to cover for your blog posts?
Oh gosh, good question. Uh, a lot of times I just kind of search around for new songs, new artists, and if something kind of catches my ear that just really speaks to me,
Hmm.
I will reach out to that artist and I will work on either doing an interview or a song review or an album review.
See, nice. And do you have a regular schedule set up for your post, or do you just post whenever you feel like
Oh gosh, so I have no schedule with that. Anybody who knows me very well and who follows on the Flipside music knows I'm very lax with my social media posts. I don't have a particular schedule. I just kind of post when I have content, and when I don't, I kind of spend that time working on other projects.
it? Hmm.
I have a lot of friends that have music podcasts and other music bloggers too.
Hmm.
So, I try to help them out on the side. So I do a lot of like behind the scene type work. I don't really like to make a big spectacle of myself online. So I kind of hide out in the back.
Hmm. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, with another time in the jukebox, I actually do have a regular schedule set up, and I think it's kind of important to, sort of like keep those posts flowing. I mean, that's how you can
Hmm.
get followers. However, I have had a couple of lulls by now where I would go for months without posting. And I'm actually kind of going through something like this right now. But yeah, and even though I do like feel guilty a lot of times, I always feel like I shouldn't like neglect it like this.
Hmm.
Like I shouldn't go for so long without posting any content. But at the end of the day, I feel like I will catch up eventually. And I just don't want to overwhelm myself. I mean, I am focusing on my education right now, and it's
Hmm.
also important to kind of like lay low and clear your head a little. And once I will have enough energy to do my classwork and work on my blog, then well, I'll do that. So, but in the meantime, I do need that downtime.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have a really good friend that's a music blogger, and she was feeling really guilty because she was kind of going through some personal stuff. So she had to kind of take an hiatus from her
Hmm.
blog, and she just felt defeated and just felt like a failure. And, I was basically telling her, I'm like, just don't ever stop. That's
Hmm.
the one thing, if you're passionate about it, you love it, keep going. You can definitely take as many breaks as you want for as long as you can, but,
Hmm.
just never stop. Always try to kind of get
Hmm.
back into it. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking some downtime for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I
Absolutely.
mean, and I totally agree with that. And I think that like as long as I will just never pull the plug on it, which I'm not intended to do like ever, then I mean, I'm good. So yeah, okay. Well, those were all of the questions that we have for now. And Jessica, thank you so much for talking with me today. It was really, really fun to interview you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you so much for having me
yeah.
on your show.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll continue checking out your page, see what other reviews you come up with, and hopefully we can attend another show together.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, bye everyone. Thanks.